What is going on, my Texans fans? We have some discouraging things to discuss. Earlier this morning, there was a draft special on ESPN. Tom Morrison was there. Adam Schefter was there. Todd McShay was there. And Morrison, who was a lifelong NFL insider, basically told Schefter and McShay that they need to start changing their mock boards around because Bryce Young right now is the favorite to be a Carolina Panther. He's been the favorite since they traded for the #1 overall pick. Look, you might hear me go on a rant. This is very discouraging to hear. This is very upsetting because let's not forget, for majority of the season last year, the Houston Texans were in sole possession of the #1 overall selection until that horrible win on January 8th where the Houston Texans converted a 4th and 20 to win the game and put a go-ahead touchdown, knocking themselves out of the #1 overall selection. Welcome, everyone, to the 713 Houston Sportcast. I am your host, Ruben Calavillo. I drop daily Houston Texans content. Make sure you guys are tapped in and follow me on Twitter at 713HP. My first reaction to hearing the news of Bryce Young being the favorite for the Carolina Panthers is, well, obviously, if I'm going to sit here in front of the camera and tell you guys I think Bryce Young is QB1, I've been saying Bryce Young is QB1. I think his ceiling is much more higher than CJ Stroud. I think Bryce Young is just special and he's the best quarterback in this draft. Well, if I think that, then the Carolina Panthers should think that as well. Clint Sterner, who does a great job here, Sports Radio 610, about a month and a half ago, he put this out. He says, when I look at the film, I see that Bryce Young is the better quarterback out of the two, and I have no doubt that the Carolina Panthers think the same way. And now when you are the Houston Texans and you go back to that January 8th game, it's still coming back to bite you in the ass. And we've talked about it here ourselves. The not knowing of what was going to happen, right? The Chicago Bears were in sole possession, and then they traded it to the Carolina Panthers. And now you are seeing the rumors, them not knowing who it is at 1. Now we are hearing it is Bryce Young. Now you have to think, do the Houston Texans consider even trading up? Because if that is their guy, well, you go out and get your guy since you have 11 draft picks. No one expects the Houston Texans to use all 11. But now that the team ahead of you is apparently selecting your guy, now it's time for the Houston Texans to consider all options out here. And this is it's so discouraging in a way where this just could have been prevented by losing the game. Why Nick Caserio chose to let guys like Brandon Cooks start, and Brandon Cooks was the main reason why you won that game. Brandon Cooks was going to be traded. He was not going to be a Houston Texan. He had said it himself that he did not want to be here for a rebuild. He is now a member of the Dallas Cowboys. And I have no doubt they're just laughing at the situation here in Houston. When the Texans lost the #1 overall pick, we were the laughingstock of the league. We were getting thank you notes from Chicago Bears fans. And now we have to live with the not knowing whatever the hell the Carolina Panthers are going to do. Because if they go out there and take Bryce Young #1 overall, well, now what do the Houston Texans do at 2, right? I like CJ Stroud. I might end up finding myself to be okay with CJ Stroud being a Houston Texan. But I think options need to start, other options need to start being prepared and to be looked at to where maybe the Houston Texans trade back. You saw Lance Zierlein do that crazy mock draft where he drafted Tyree Wilson over Will Anderson at 2 to the Houston Texans. This just got a little more interesting here. And you can only blame one person, one organization. That is the Houston Texans for winning that idiotic game against the Indianapolis Colts. You guys let me know how you feel. There's just so much uncertainty right now. Bring me the NFL draft. As always, go Texans. You guys have a very blessed day.